What is up, internet? It's your boy Ronan back at you with another video. Sorry it took me so long once again, but I've been kind of busy. I have a lot of things going on, but today is a very special video. I finally am updating my comic book. You know how I talk about my comic book at the beginning of every video? I say, oh, go check it out. Well, now you can go check it out with some more content. I added some pages. My guy Conlon, who's always asking about it, he's always like, when you gonna update? Finally, there's an update to be seen. So today I'm just gonna be, doing some art from the comic. I always do like a little illustration at the end of every chapter. So in the video, I'm just gonna be doing like kind of like a exploded view of the ship that one of the characters is flying. So anyways, I hope you enjoy the video, and I will catch up with you at the end. All right, peace.
So yeah, I guess I should kind of go over the plot of my comic book. So my comic book is called The Heavy, and it takes place in this fictional world, a lot like our own. And this particular story takes place in a country called the United Territories. Now, the United Territories is kind of it's kind of like this fascistic empire. No, I wouldn't say empire. But it is a fascistic, warlike country. It's not really like, this is not some kind of satire of the United States or anything like that. That's just what I call them. So it's not me making any kind of political commentary or anything like that. But the United Territories is always engaged in some form of conflicts with a lot of different people, a lot of different other countries. Low-level conflicts, high-level conflicts. They're kind of perpetually at war with kind of everyone. But there's one war in particular that's literally just called the war, that you don't want to get drafted into. The war has been going on pretty much in perpetuity since as far back as anyone can remember. It's been going on. They never technically say who the war is against. You don't know if they're winning or losing, and nobody else ever comes back from the war. So the comic book kind of concentrates on the lives of the different people who live under this kind of I don't want to say terror, but like this kind of stress and of living under this specter of impending death or doom. So you can get drafted into this war. People call it getting your papers, but another euphemism for it, they just call it the heavy. So if you get drafted into it, they'll say, yeah, he got the heavy, or he caught the heavy. So yeah, that's what the comic book's about. Also, technically, like, there may the people know there may not be a war. I mean, they may just, you get your papers, they may take you in a room, just shoot you in the back of the head. Nobody knows. But I mean, it's kind of strange that there's a war going on constantly, a forever war where no one ever comes back and no one knows who's winning or who's losing. So there's no definitive answer as to what's going on there. But you're not allowed to question it. You don't say it out loud, because that just would look bad. But this makes it sound like a very dystopian, like, kind of futuristic comic. It's not really a dystopian comic. I mean, it's not dystopian in that way. That's the only thing about it that's really bad. But it's not like in the future where it's not like Blade Runner future or whatever, where the environment's messed up and everything's kind of sucky. It's that this is kind of the only weird aspect of this comic book world. One of the first characters you meet in the comic book is named Belle Spectre. She's a sniper. Really very pessimistic, nihilistic character. She's in her military service. In this society too, it's kind of like one of those places where you have compulsory military service. So she's in compulsory military service. She grew up an orphan. In a lot of the orphanages in this world, well, in this country, are also like military academies. So they're kind of like constantly training new soldiers. So she came up in the military academy, so she's a really good sniper, but she also kind of hates everything. So people don't, however, you don't really get drafted to the heavy necessarily when you're actually compulsory service. So you're kind of safe. But there is one thing I do want to stress: there is no real rhyme or reason to the heavy. Like there's no 100% way to avoid it. So what I'm saying is, I mean, some people get it, some people don't, and there's no rhyme or reason as to why people get their papers. No one's figured it out. People have suspicions, or they have theories as to how they could get out of it, or if they're safe or not. But in truth, no one's really safe. So the next character in the comic book that I show is a guy named August Tyrell. He was he's retired. He was a member of this elite unit, kind of like Navy SEALs or whatever, an elite paratroop unit called the Vandals, and he fought in a famous war. So he's kind of like a war hero, and he's like he's retired now, and he's used for kind of like PR by the government. So he's always having speaking engagements and things like that. He's always on the news and like selling war bonds and stuff like that, or on TV, because he's a war hero. Everybody knows him. So he doesn't he's not on active duty. He also is probably pretty much safe from the heavy because of his celebrity status. So he's got a pretty good life, and he has a wife and he has a kid on the way, and it's kind of like he's actually, I would say, the opposite of Bale, in that he's not really cynical and nihilistic. He's kind of like a true believer. He's very patriotic, but he's not totally he's not really dumb. It's kind of like he's willfully ignorant. He wants to believe because he's kind of like a true warrior and a true soldier. So he likes to believe in the cause, even though deep down he kind of is skeptical like everyone else. Also, a thing about August is he's actually very unhappy though in civilian life. He wasn't in compulsory military service. He was a soldier. He's a career soldier, and like I said, he was part of an elite unit. So he likes combat. That's what he does. He wants to get back into combat, but he can't. So he's very unhappy in his life right now. And the third main character in this volume that's in this update is a pilot named Cooper Montgomery. He's a fighting ace, like the best pilot in the history of the Air Force. He's sort of retired too. He's more of an instructor, and he teaches like at the war college and stuff. He's kind of a genius, and he's not he's kind of a war hero, not like a big deal war hero necessarily like August, because August fought at this really famous battle, but nevertheless he's kind of a big deal. And so he's pretty much safe from the heavy too, if you think about it. Like there's not, again, like I said, there's no real rhyme or reason to who's safe, but if you're probably a very important or productive member of society, you're probably not gonna get drafted, although that does happen on occasion. So he's pretty much safe, although he has a secret that could jeopardize his safe status. I'm not gonna say what it is. Ooh, mystery. But you'll find out as the story goes on and unfolds. So this comic will when I get around to finishing this volume, I don't know, it's going to be pretty long. But when I get around to finishing this volume, future volumes will be concentrated on different characters. The comic book is more about the world and people's experiences in it as opposed to any individual character. So when I wrap up these guys' storylines, when I get around to doing a volume 2, it'll be some new characters, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the comic. So I did this illustration. I did this in vectors because the ship is like, I'm making it more look like a schematics, you know what I mean? And so I want to do it kind of with perfect lines and stuff. So yeah, did it in Illustrator. I'll be posting this on my Instagram, and it'll be on the comic book. So go check out the comic as well.
So that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I think from now on, when I update the comic book, I'm just gonna update like maybe a page or two at a time, not like 17 pages, because it's just a nightmare having to draw, ink, color, all that good stuff, that many pages, and trying to do other art projects as well. So I think in the future, I'm gonna just update a page or two at a time. So kindly, you can just go check it every now and then, and there'll actually be something there. But anyways, that was the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And next week, I think I'm just gonna be doing a comic book review next week. That's what I'm gonna be doing so that I can get more videos out. So every other week is just gonna be a comic book review, not me doing any art. So yeah, I'll catch you next week. Oh, don't fall. I'll catch you next week, and hope you have a good one. Peace.